I'm Darren with Akshon Esports, and welcome back to Akshon Recap. Starting off, it was Houston Outlaws coach Tairong's 28th birthday this week, so to celebrate, the Florida Mayhem, who've embraced the meme that their colors look like MacDonalds, brought Tairong 28 Happy Meals. As you can see, this unexpected gift was very well received. Now, speaking of the Mayhem, last night the Florida Mayhem ownership made an exciting announcement as they revealed the addition of a new member to the team. After Coach Mineral mentioned that they had a keen interest in acquiring new talent during the current player signing window, the Mayhem have become the first team to announce a new addition. The team, known for their zany entrances, have enlisted former Team Gigantti Flex player, and I apologize if I missay this, Joonas Zappis Alakurtti to their ranks. Known for his Zarya and Tracer play, we'll have to see if the addition of Zappis and the shifts in the meta post-Mercy nerfs will be enough for Florida Mayhem to turn around their rough start to the season. Do you think Zappis will be the only addition to the Mayhem? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Next up, we have a story on Toronto Esports, who have announced the departure of their Overwatch players who have all been transferred over to Overwatch League Academy teams. For a bit of context, Toronto Esports was the organization formerly run by Boston Uprising's president of gaming, Huck, who brought with him Snow and Note from the team onto his Overwatch League roster. Kraken Lakin was the first player from this team who was revealed to have joined an Overwatch League organization as a member of Fusion University. It is uncertain to whom the remaining players have been signed to, but with contenders starting on March 5th, you can expect roster announcements to be made in the coming weeks. In light of the player change, Toronto Esports will be pulling out the remainder of the Overwatch Open division. Now, if you've watched last night's game between Seoul Dynasty and London Spitfire, you might be as confused like the rest of the community as to why Guido was run instead of Ryujae Hong, despite posting on Twitter that the latter would be playing 2 hours before the start of the match. It is still uncertain why the coaching staff chose this unorthodox strategy when going up against such a strong team like the Spitfire. It's unknown when or if we will even get an answer. As for you Fuel fans who've been concerned about the team, it appears that the mood isn't as bad as many had anticipated, as the team remains in high spirits as seen in this clip from yesterday's game against the Philadelphia Fusion. For our last bit of Overwatch news, let's talk a bit about the Shanghai Dragons. We all know that they aren't the most popular team in the Overwatch League after a series of disappointing performances that have left them sitting at the bottom of the rankings. Fan expectations have dropped so low that it's already a reason for celebration when this team is able to take even a single map win. From speaking with the players, we know they've been grinding long hours and working closely with their support staff to improve, but realistically, drastic improvements from the players can't be expected in such a short period of time. In light of all the slander and negativity from the community, the London Spitfire and Seoul Dynasty teams spoke out on Twitter in defense of the Shanghai Dragons, stating that they are a great team and should not be treated so poorly as to be used as the definition of a bad team. In League of Legends news, Choi Locodocco Yoonsup has been relieved of his role as head coach of the Golden Guardians following 2 weeks of play in the NALCS with his team at the bottom of the rankings with a 0-4 record. Assistant coach Tyler Perron will be taking over as intern coach until a suitable candidate can be found. It's been quite some time since the Malzahar rework, but it seems that some people still don't understand the counterplay to his ultimate, and that includes the person running the Twitter account for Riot Games. In response to a player complaining that it's annoying to have to build up a Quicksilver sash to deal with Nethergrasp, the Riot Games support Twitter account recommended that the player try taking Cleanse. However, it was quickly pointed out that this was an inaccurate piece of advice, as Cleanse cannot remove suppresses. Now for something for our Dota 2 viewers, which we are pretty sure exist. Dota 2 lead developer IceFrog has announced a new patch cycle release schedule for the next 6 months. Instead of dropping a handful of large patches a couple of times a year, the Dota 2 dev team will be releasing small patches every 2 weeks. This will allow the team to make gradual changes to the game throughout the year and make things easier for new players to fully grasp new item buffs and balance updates. This news has been met with mixed responses, as there are those who look forward to large patches and those who welcome the new model with open arms. It's important to note that IceFrog mentions that the dev team will be monitoring how well the new patch schedule will be received, and are evaluating whether to continue implementing the system in the future. I hate to leave on such a serious and rather depressing note, but a serious news story broke out earlier this morning. The co-creator of Counter-Strike, Jess Cliff, aged 36, was arrested earlier this morning at 1:17 a.m. on a charge of sexual exploitation of a child. According to local Seattle news channel KIRO7, on, Jess Cliff was arrested and booked and is currently in the midst of his bail hearing, which we await to hear the results of. As a response from his employer, Valve has released the following statement: "We are still learning details of what actually happened. Reports suggest he has been arrested for a felony offense. As such, we have suspended his employment until we know more. And rest assured, we at Akshon Esports will do our utmost to ensure we keep you updated once we know more about this ongoing story." To end things on a bit of a lighter note, Blizzard announced that pre-orders for the new World of Warcraft expansion, Battle for Azeroth, will unlock various cosmetics for Overwatch, including emotes, icons, and voice lines, among other things. The expansion is expected to release later this summer, for those of you interested in taking up this cross-promotion deal. Otherwise, that's all for this installment of Akshon Recap. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing by clicking the Akshon icon, or check out some of our other videos. If you have something to say and want to join in on the conversation, join our Discord server. Links to that and everything else mentioned are in the description of this video. This has been Darren from Akshon Esports. See you in the next one.